Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Matt, the Lumberjack Landlord. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing super awesome. I know it's a good Tuesday when I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, so something that might surprise folks, I hope it doesn't, but if you're watching my channel kind of casually, it may surprise you. I don't like living in an echo chamber.
Right.
So I actively seek counter opinions. It may not feel that way, but I do.
Yep.
And this morning, I came across a senior economist who is calling for a 25% crash in home prices.
Yes.
In 2023.
Yes.
So I found an article that's not behind a paywall.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring it up. I want to go through it with you and just have an honest discussion. Again, a senior economist. I think it's at Interactive Brokers. We will bring it up and make sure we cite it correctly. But before we do, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I saw the same article. I read the same article, and I disagree with him.
Yeah.
But that's what we're gonna do.
There you go. It's all right. You can see this now, right?
Let's go. I can absolutely see it. Let's go through.
So again, 2008 style housing market crash is coming, warns a senior economist. All right, senior economist, you got my attention. Yeah. I will read the article.
Exactly.
So again, let's give credit where credit is due, as I did this morning on the Daily Financial News. His name is Jose Torres from Interactive Brokers. So good, I got that right.
Yep.
So housing market's begun to cool as mortgage rates rise. I think that's fair.
Yep.
He's calling for a huge drop in home prices. I don't see it, but let's dig in.
Yep.
And he expects the decline really to be in next year. So 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's break this down little by little. So again, supply demand dynamics in the housing market are moving away and creates a perfect recipe for declining prices. I would argue it creates the perfect recipe for declining transactions, but okay, Jose, let's see what you have to say. Just stop me anytime.
Yeah. They always miss that step.
Yeah, they just always want to jump to price.
It's price. It's price. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's two steps before price.
Yeah.
There is a decline in transactions.
Yeah.
A increase in inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And then a start to decline in prices, but you still have a bunch of increase in values that you're still going to have to give back.
And we don't have forced sellers. That's the missing piece.
And again, to your point, there are going to be plenty, and I've talked to my brokers about it this week. There are plenty of people that are calling saying, hey, so what do you think? And they're like, well, we think you need to be realistic with your price because I'm not going to take on the listing and burn a bunch of my time if you're not really sure that you're going to sell.
Yep. Yeah. So he jumps into home builders, which again, folks, if you don't know, home building makes up roughly 10% of the market when you look at total transactions. So again, if he anchors his ideas on home builders leading to 25% price decline, that would be a mistake. But let's get into this. So again, he's basically saying home builders got cocky. They were building too much. And this is really kind of Ivy Zellman is kind of saying the same thing. Hey, look, 1 million units coming, 1 million units coming. And Greg Dickerson, who basically told us they're going to burn the inventory they have, discount it to get rid of it, and then they're going to stop. So this million that's out there, it's not coming, folks, at least not yet.
So there's a major build this morning in that inventory. Typically 5 to 6 months of new homes is good. This morning, the number hit 9 months.
Yeah, 9.4.
9.4 months worth of supply of new buildings. But to Mike, your point, that's less than 10, that's 10% or less of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point as well, they have to finish what they've got. They don't have to keep on going after that.
Exactly. They're basically what I want. Sometimes people don't realize this. Walmart and home builders are the exact same way. What happened today? Last night, Walmart came out and pre-announced. They basically said the average Joe consumer is getting trapped with higher food costs and fuel costs. They're not buying clothes. They're not buying TVs. They're not buying this other stuff. So what are they doing? They're discounting stuff to blow away existing inventory. And then they don't buy more clothes and TVs. They don't keep shoving the pipeline. They stop.
Right.
And that's what builders will be doing.
That's where you'll see orders go way down for product.
So next up, housing inventory. Housing inventory grew 18.7% year on year in June. Realtor.com says inventory is up 50%. Folks, I want to give a shout out to Logan Matsushima from Housing Wire. Yesterday, 7 p.m., he talked about inventory being 1.26, which is the latest number. We need to get back to 2 million just to be even. So we are still grossly undersupplied.
Mhm.
And again, back to your point, we can't get price declines until we get inventory. So transactions fall, inventory builds, then maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
For the very first time in my looking, the stuff that sold in, this is my Vegas search, the stuff that sold in my Vegas search 2 months ago, there's now stuff that's being listed that's under that price.
Awesome. But you're shopping above the median in Vegas where the most
Way above
pain
the
is.
median. 750 to 1.5 million is where I'm shopping.
Yeah. And again, you got to know your market. I asked my audience to, get their buy box, figure out where median is. Cause if you're in Vegas and the build is above the median, your median can still be pulled higher and it will shock people. But if you're in Phoenix and it's below the median, that's a problem. Prices are coming down. So it's very, very interesting.
Open Door. I want to say that they have something like, it's like 1,000 listings.
Oh, it's like 1,200 listings.
Or it's crazy in just that market.
Yeah.
And most of them are at what they paid or a slight discount. Most of them.
They're in trouble.
Open Door is in deep trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, he goes, this again is Jose who's calling for a 25% crash, which he does at the bottom of the screen here, basically saying free money led to high inflation. Mortgage rates have climbed. Oh, by the way, they're going down. Have you guys seen the 10-year recently? And he's saying, hey, this is killing demand. Absolutely. What does killing demand mean? Less transactions, but that's just me. So again, the construction is waning. Again, folks, builders are going to lay people off. And we heard that from John Burns Real Estate Consulting. You guys are not ready for this.
Nope. I've been saying that for 6 months. That's why I have $500,000 in projects I am waiting on. Builders are going to lay quality staff off, and I'm going to keep them busy through the winter.
Yeah, exactly. So here's his claim. Torres said serious price drop in homes to be expected. The average, again, he's not talking Phoenix. He's not talking Boise. He is expecting the average American home to drop 25% when it's all said and done.
I wonder how much real estate he owns.
Less than you is my guess.
Yes. Yeah. Less than 99% of the people on our channel.
Probably. We're going to see a lot like he's falling prices. I don't see him talking about where's the forced sellers coming from, buddy. I just don't see it.
No, he hasn't done the rest of the math. He's done a phenomenal job at solving part of the equation.
Yep.
But the whole equation isn't here.
He talks about affordability, which again, you are right. Absolutely. But again, affordability means less trends. It's a process. This is where a lot of people that didn't live through the last one and didn't study economics, housing, like there's this thing called a supply demand curve that you're taught in macroeconomics, like the first econ class. And basically what you find is the lower price something is, the more you sell. That's what all of these people are anchored on. Folks, housing is different. Housing is not a t-shirt. It's not a drink, right? It's required. It's the third step of Maslow's hierarchy of need: water, food, shelter. Housing is different. If you sell, you have to do something. Living in your car is not an option for most people.
Correct.
So they're going to stay. And oh, by the way, if you have to pay more in rent for a less quality home, you are going to fight tooth and nail to stay in your home.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
So
again,
one of the things he brings up here is that 62% of Boise homes have dropped their price.
So what?
Yeah. Who cares? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do. They put it out on some crazy number, saw that they got no activity for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And this is the problem that I have, is that there are too many brokers out there that are too stuck in 3 months and 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do the simple math. I have a friend in my area.
Mm-hmm.
And they bought a house and they did some minor work and then they threw it back on the market for this redonkulous price.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, that price is stupid. And he's like, we'll see. And so every single week I send him a text and my text says, we'll see.
Yeah.
And now he's chasing it down. And here's the worst part. I said, you have another 100 to go. He goes, Matt, if we sell it for 100 less, we're going to lose money. You might want to cozy up to that idea.
Yeah.
Because you're going to lose a lot more the longer you hold on to that property. It's above the median. and it's not an above the median caliber house.
Yeah. And then they go on to highlight other pieces of people, basically Morgan Stanley's Economist saying no price drop is coming, Redfin's no price is coming. So again, what I think in this video is, let's just say his thesis was right, but he was missing point A, point B. Back to your earlier comment, it might have been in Graham's video. Any kind of price deterioration is not a 22 problem. No chance.
It's not.
Probably not a 23 problem. Because again, the forced sellers don't, maybe 24, 25, but we're having vastly different conversations.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I'm looking at deals and, one came across my desk and it was like an 8% return. I'm like, bleh. Like that might be okay in some markets, but in my market, unacceptable. I don't want to deploy capital in that.
Yeah.
And so I look at it and I just say, I would have to start doing deals that I don't have a whole lot of conviction in to do those deals right now.
Yeah, just wait.
You have to be just patient. Just be patient.
Yeah, I'm telling people this is an 18 to 24 months. And oh, by the way, the recession just started July 1st. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now.
When those numbers come out Thursday, right?
Well, again, I want to be very clear. I believe the recession started July 1st. It won't be Thursday's number. Thursday's number is Q2.
I agree.
Q2.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I believe it's Q3,
I'm
Q4.
saying we get verification that we are not in recession on Thursday.
Correct. Yeah.
And I must say, Washington's talking heads seem a little bit nervous because on every channel I see those talking heads on, all they're talking about is, well, technically 2 down GDP corners is not a recession.
We brought you that on this channel as well, because again, that's a rule of thumb that's worked since 1947. It ain't going to work this time.
And that's one of those things where it's like they're not sharing with everybody all of the information.
It's too complex. Purchasing or industrial production, retail sales, real income, and job market. I mean, it's a lot. It's a complex formula, which again, I studied. It's just so much easier to say negative 2 quarters of negative GDP. It's just easier, man. Come on.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like, horseshoes and hand grenades. It's all good.
It's worked the last 10 times. Damn it.
It has, and it doesn't work this time.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm holding out hope for a 0.1 or 0.2 positive. What do you think Thursday?
I think so. I think it's barely positive. I think we're seeing some areas where it can be positive. I mean, jobs are largely positive. Yeah. And I think we're seeing some of those things that's going to get us kind of over the hump. And the fact of the matter is, not conspiracy theorists, but ideal messaging. Midterms are coming up. I'm pretty sure you don't want to be officially on paper as having a recession when your midterms are coming up, because that usually equals a flogging at the polls.
Well, I think a flogging's coming. What I'm seeing, because again, I study the consumer confidence. Consumer confidence came out today, crashed. Consumer sentiment Friday. The consumer's angry, and an angry voter, not good. Whoever the incumbent is, not good.
The smart thing is, let's just be very brutally honest. If you are angry, you're angry at the policies and the people that are in there making those policies that are those people.
Today.
Bye. See you later. You didn't do a good job. You were bad at what you did.
You've got to go.
We're watching it. I'm watching it in my state, and I'm more than a little bit annoyed at the fake narrative. Bye. You're gone. See ya. And you deserve to be gone. You failed. You failed. You did a bad job.
Yeah. Well, very cool. This has been a fun conversation. Where can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and on Instagram. We're getting back into our series of showing work that we're doing in the field. Always fun. Awesome. The crazy fun things that we see. And then live stream 11:30 a.m. on Sundays. If I could remember my own live stream, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sundays.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.